Okay, it seems like the speakers are working. So thank you, Darius, for the previous presentation. It's great to have an introduction to the Metaverse beforehand. So what I'm going to do is I discussed with Darius yesterday as well, which was that one of the points was that the Metaverse isn't here. So I'm here to argue the opposite. It already is here. What I'm going to discuss is Roblox and how essentially it's the closest thing to the metaverse we have, and how Roblox actually approaches extended reality or the metaverse. To see how it actually shapes the future of gaming and give some insights on that topic. So my background is I'm from a company called Simple Magic, which I'm a co-founder, lead developer, and chief product officer of. So we at Simple Magic have worked on brands and IPs such as My Little Pony and Conan the Barbarian. We have also helped out with brands like Spotify. So Simple Magic is a company which is in between the platform, which is Roblox, and the IPs and brands. Neither one knows each other too well. Brands don't know how to get onto Roblox, and Roblox can't make games from brands themselves. So we are the intermediary there. We make great games from brands that players actually like. My background specifically is I've been on the platform since 2009. So that means I am older than the median age. I have been on the platform for longer than the median age on the platform. I have worked on games such as Murder Mystery 2 and accumulated over 18 billion visits on the games. So the games I've worked on have been played 18 billion times, over 18 billion times. So that's around the Earth's population times 2.5. And most of those games have an average session time between 9 and 12 minutes. So what's the deal about Roblox games? Quick question beforehand. How many of you have played Roblox? Can I see a show of hands? Okay, so like half of them. Actually, quite many, thank you. How many have you tried to make games on Roblox? Oh, quite many as well, thank you. Because usually, like, if I asked the same question like 2 years ago, it would have been mostly like an empty table. We had two classes of students come by our office, which is in the old town. And when you ask the question there, it's more like out of 27 people, 26 will raise their hands that they both have tried to play games and make games. And most of the younger generation, everyone has a Roblox account. So just as a quick introduction, Roblox has around 207 million monthly active users. That's quite a lot. And an important caveat here is that it's a platform, not a game. So if you ask anyone, hey, what are you playing? And they say, hey, I'm playing Roblox. That's the same as someone asking, what are you doing? And they say, I'm watching TV. Well, what are you actually watching? Or, hey, how can I contact you? And someone responds, on the internet. That's a medium, but that's not the actual platform itself. So Roblox is a platform which hosts games. You can think of it as Steam, but anyone can be a consumer or a creator. So it depends on which sources you look at, but essentially, that's the growth trend on users on Roblox as a platform. So 207 million monthly active users, depends on where you look. It skews towards a male audience, so around 53% is male and 34 to 37 is female, and the rest are usually also male. It's just that they are older accounts which haven't actually registered the age. There are like 40 million experiences, 5.6 million or so are active, which means that they are played constantly, essentially day to day. So 5.6 million games, essentially, you can think. And out of the 200 million players, 2 million are actually creators as well, who create games. So, when Darius said Roblox isn't the metaverse, I'm going to argue the opposite. Roblox is the metaverse. It might not be the full metaverse, but it's pretty close to it, I would argue. So on Roblox, essentially, when you have a Roblox account, the character you have is, I would argue, a digital extension of self. So there are many types of games across all kinds of experiences. What you see on the screen here is On Tap. It's a game where you have voice chat and facial expressions enabled. You have to be ID verified to be in the 17 plus experience, where you can make alcoholic drinks, serve alcoholic drinks, and have alcoholic drinks with your friends. You can occasionally have bar fights, and you can do this cross-platform across the world. You can have one person in the Far East, and you can have another person in the US, one on console, one on mobile, or VR and mobile, and they can be in the same server having a bar fight. No matter the platform, no matter the location, where all of their chat is translated in real time. So this connectivity, information and access, ability to communicate and have a virtual version of yourself, which is in-game and can interact, is something I would say we don't see anywhere else. The bar fight is just an example. There are many other games, such as there's a Tornado Hunters, which is essentially players and their friends can group up and hunt down tornadoes and actually probe and learn about tornadoes. Boston University of Science did a Mars mission where essentially you can learn about Mars. There's a whole section, and Roblox-funded section, for educational content, while there's the opposite, which is just fun content where you can hang out with friends and have a great time. And then there's branded content, which is that brands and big IPs are seeing that, hey, this platform is huge, and it will start, and actually it is currently already competing with platforms such as radio and TV for advertising. So a big thing here is consistent identity across games. So you and your friend group, you can change your appearance, and you can be that. So this is my appearance in one of the games I worked on, which is a shrimp in a shopping cart being pushed by a capybara. That's the avatar, so I can jump from game to game and keep that appearance. The reason why it looks so strange and why the character is so strange is because it's great for testing, because it makes no sense to test games with like these wild avatars where you have layered clothing and so on. The diverse games, where you keep your identity, that really helps you connect with those experiences as well. Which is why I would say they are, as a phone is an extension of you, a Roblox character, especially to the younger generation, is an extension of them. It's what allows them to interact with experiences and personalizes those experiences. So an average player on Roblox changes their avatar every 1 to 3 days. Every fifth person changes it every day. So there's a huge catalog of accessories, which you can see on the right side. Anyone can create accessories. So if you ever feel like it, you can just go onto the platform and start making hats and layer clothing, and you can create your own clothing brand, virtual clothing brand on Roblox. That's something that has been done, and we've seen this engagement through avatar customization move so far that people are actually taking their virtual clothing brands and moving them into physical ones because they earn so much revenue and have so much interaction within their clothing brands. So, user behavior and virtual economy. This is essentially how the whole Roblox economy works, or how they handle the on-platform currency. So the on-platform currency on the platform is Robux. So Robux is an interesting thing. It's essentially a virtual currency. I would say it's one of the most powerful virtual currencies in the world because it has been going up in value, and it's directly correlated to the US dollar. Money in is money out. So it works both ways. So this is how it works currently, where you can sell items in games, you can sell accessories, game passes, subscriptions. All of those are handled by Roblox. You just have to implement them. And we have some really cool stuff which was announced this year, which is coming up as well, such as games up to $50 with a 70-30 rev share. 70 to you, 30 to Roblox. What essentially this means is that this Roblox platform is now competing with platforms like Epic Games and Steam regarding revenue. There's also something else which is coming up, which is a Shopify integration, similar to YouTube. So what will happen is you can be playing an experience or be in a virtual museum or anything, and you can see an item of the brand or a game you like, a plushie or anything, and have it shipped to your door from the virtual experience. So, as I mentioned before, everyone is a consumer, everyone can be a creator, and it has actually gotten so far that Roblox actually, starting this year, has started hiring on platform as well. Because you have virtual characters, you have facial animation tracking, video enabled. You can be in a virtual office and have a discussion with someone, like a job interview, and decide whether or not to hire them. This is something Roblox is actually doing right now. So for creators, something that really helps out is that the Roblox engine or Roblox Studio, that is free, accessible to anyone. Anyone can download it, anyone can try making a game. They are implementing AI tools to actually make development easier. So one thing Roblox has is they have their own AI tool, which actually learns from other Roblox games, which, if you have allowed sharing information, and there you can actually explain what to do, and it will do the 3D work and the code work for you if you specify correctly on what you want it to do. On the platform, there's also hiring other developers. So there's whole groups and working groups where you can go onto the developer forum and developer hub and find Roblox developers looking for a contract as a 3D artist or an animator. You can find developers on platform, any type, even a game designer or anything really. You can find a developer on platform. You can hire them for on-platform currency. You can make regular payouts from games you earn to those users who can then extract it for US dollars. This is all built in to Roblox. So as a development platform, it has built-in cross-platform support. So if you make a game, there's no compile time or anything. It's immediately cross-platform. Netcode and servers are free. So essentially, you can just jump in, make a multiplayer game, press publish, and you have a free multiplayer game. Great for prototyping or testing games, even like if you're unsure what the game should be. Free databases and freedom transactions, no overhead there. You don't need to pay any money to have databases up. Automatic localization and automatic chat translation. This means if you have someone in, let's say, Japan talking to another person in Sweden, they can talk to each other through the in-game chat, and their language gets translated to the other language on runtime. So people from different countries can be having a conversation and keep it going like that. Games as well, if you don't have manual localization, the games are automatically localized to a corresponding language. From even image content, such as thumbnails. If your game has a thumbnail, it will take the text in that and use AI tools to actually turn it into a localized text. This is something, and analytics. It gives you detailed background on, hey, how is your game performing compared to other games on the platform? What should you be targeting? All of the analytics is given to you, and you are shown what metrics to improve on. Like, hey, your retention is poorer than your competitors, or hey, it seems like you lack onboarding because your players drop out, like 80% of players drop out on the first minute. Roblox will give you this information to help you make your game better. And essentially, this is why I would argue that Roblox is the true metaverse. The avatars you have in the virtual worlds, no matter where it is essentially an extension of yourself where you can change it however you want, and it creates connection to the games. Anyone can be a content consumer or a content creator. There's no barriers there. So physical items, anything physical you could have in the real world, you can order through the virtual world. It's available on all platforms with cross-platform support built in. And it has interactions such as voice chat built in with facial capture, as well as a social core. So something Darius mentioned as well previously was that games often have just groups of people standing around and doing nothing. So something we've seen pop up lately as well on Roblox is death row. So essentially we'll have 50 people in a server and they just line up to die. The first player dies first. For some reason, the goal there is to die first, so you try to skip ahead and die before others. It's a wild experience. But because it's a 50-player queue, what most players end up doing there is just standing around and talking to each other. And that's the whole experience, really. You stand around, you have some goal you're working towards, but most of the time, you spend socializing with others. So, in conclusion, I would say Roblox in that sense is actually transforming very much on how we think about games or social experiences through taking everything you need to make a game and putting it into one comprehensive package on platform, which is inspiring social interactions and connectivity between people. And I would encourage you guys to check Roblox out, try making games or try playing games. It is a wild platform with unexpected games and interesting content, but it has shown very sustainable growth in the past years, and I think that's important for all of you to know. Thank you.